Hey everyone, welcome to Quaran-Stream, the show where Entertainment Weekly's writers and editors are sharing with you the things they're watching from the comfort of their home. I'm senior TV editor Jared Hall, and joining me today are TV critic Darren Franich, staff writer Devin Kogan, and staff writer Chancellor Agard. Hey guys, how are you doing?
Hey.
Good.
Hanging in there, yeah.
It's so weird not seeing everyone in the office, but I'm glad we have technology to be able to communicate and see human life.
Until it turns on us.
That is true.
Sorry, we're watching which person of interest.
But Chance, this is the irony, is that now technology turning on us doesn't seem that bad by comparison.
Right, like I welcome our robot overlords. Like bring it on. Let's go for it.
And that's all for another Quaran-Stream. We can do a deep dive into all of that another time. But today we are specifically talking about the things that are comforting, the things that are cozy, that make you feel safe. Because I don't know about you guys, since I've been inside, I've been watching a lot of stuff, new things, but also starting to dive back into shows that I've just not started at all. So with all these things that are safe and cozy, though, a lot of them are things that are familiar. Shows maybe you have watched a dozen times, but it's the thing that you need right now. What is it about this current situation that makes these comfort shows such a draw? I have on Food Network because I'm a food, cooking, being in the kitchen, baking, it's all kind of very therapeutic for me. So for me, that's the kind of thing that's calming. You know, you're hearing a lot of people talking about feeling anxious because they're, inside all day and kind of getting some anxiety. That is the thing that is centering me right now. But what about the rest of you? Devin, what's your comfort show?
Well, right now it's less of a comfort show and more of a comfort network. Like you said, you've been watching a lot of Food Network. I've been watching a lot of HGTV, which is my personal drug of choice. I love HGTV so much because it is so there's a beautiful format, and there's sort of a rhythm to every HGTV show. It's that there's this usually it's a couple and they have a problem with their house, and either through renovation or through buying a new house, their problems are magically fixed within 30 minutes. And that there's something so wonderful about that. And also it's I've been stuck in the same apartment for 2 weeks now, so it's kind of nice to go look at other people's houses and judge them on how they're living. It makes me feel better about my apartment.
Chance, what's that show for you?
It's a show that should not surprise anyone who knows me. It's DC's Legends of Tomorrow, which is by my money, the best superhero show on television, but also maybe one of the best shows on television. It's, in case you don't know it, it's about a bunch of B-list, C-list superhero characters from a bunch of the Arrowverse shows on the CW, who then get on this time-traveling ship and spend their time just running through the timeline and fixing problems that most often they created. And it's really comforting too, because it's the whole show is about them being a family and them working together and just wanting to do good. And it's also just really fun to watch for the time periods they go to, all the wacky premises. I mean, one of my favorite episodes has them going to World War I to find General Tolkien because they need to find the last remnants of the Holy Grail, because it has Jesus' blood, which will then help them destroy this thing called the Spear of Destiny. There's another episode where they all sort of Voltron into this Tickle Me Elmo god or toy called Bebo and fight a dragon demon.
2 questions for you regarding that show. How familiar do you need to be with those other Arrowverse shows to start watching this one?
Not at all.
Okay.
It's especially you could even just start with season 2, which is season 1 is really rough. It's them trying to be the other Arrowverse shows. Season 2, which is where it gets spookier, and they really stop caring about continuity and stuff. So every year the CW has their crossovers, but last year Legends wasn't included in them, and so while that was airing, Legends had their own mid-season finale airing, and at one point the other superheroes call them for help, and they're hard pass on this year's crossover. So they do not care about the other shows at all, really.
Gotcha.
Except for when they have to.
Okay. Other question real quickly. How likely do you think it will be that we will see them go back in time and try to address some kind of spread of a pandemic?
Oh, very likely. Very likely. This season has done episodes that have featured extended bits about the scooter pandemic. And the first season, the premiere was a mockumentary that had a lot of jokes about recent things that happened last year as well. So I think that I would not be surprised if there's some sort of COVID joke next season, just because they're breaking next season right now via Zoom, which is what we're using right now. So.
Fantastic. All right. Darren, don't go anywhere. I'm going to get to you in just a minute. We have to take a quick break. We'll be right back to talk more about our favorite comfort shows to stream right after this. Welcome back to Quaran-Stream. Today we're taking a look at those comfort shows that you just can't resist going back to again and again. The mac and cheese of television, if you will, which sounds really good right now. But Darren, to you now, with all that's going on in the world, what's the show you find yourself wanting to dive back into?
As you guys can probably tell from my billowy sweatshirt and the fact that I'm recording this next to a crib, I think I'm the only parent on this call. My wife and I are the proud parents of an 8-month-old, and so as far as our TV viewing habits, they haven't actually changed that much the way that everything else in our life has during this pandemic. So I hear people talk about the shows they're binging, and I'm like, that sounds fun, but I don't always have time for that. But I will say a show that has been an incredible warm blanket in these cold times is, well, kind of everything on Bravo, to be honest with you, but especially Below Deck Sailing Yacht, which is in its debut season. I've always thought of Below Deck as the Legends of Tomorrow of the reality docu-soap people on a boat subgenre. And one thing I like about Sailing Yacht, similar but very different from what Devin was talking about with the kind of home design shows, it's very escapist right now because they're literally in Greece on a lovely boat, having, well, the people who are on the boat as guests get to have fun while the staff make fun of them. So it's a very kind of like nice getaway TV for the end of a busy day of attempting to parent and work and survive COVID-19 insanity all at once. But it's also fun because everyone on the show, well, certainly the guests are terrible people who you ultimately wind up despising. Some of the people who work on the boat are lovable, some are equally terrible. And so it's kind of like you enjoy being on vacation with them, but you also kind of at the end of the show, you're like, you know what? Being in the house is not that bad, actually. So it works in both ways. It's escapist and it also makes you not want to escape. But really, I feel like that's true of almost everything on Bravo right now. I don't know what I'm going to do when reality TV time catches up to our time and there's no more Real Housewives. But I'm glad that New York City was done filming before, so at least we'll have that to look forward to during the next few weeks. And
didn't Potomac just drop too? Didn't the trailer for Potomac just drop this week? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Maryland.
But Chance, the concern with these shows also is now you watch them and you're kind of like, these people don't know what's about to happen in a few months. Like, they should be preparing, they should be buying toilet paper. So there is some tension there also, but it's definitely largely comfort food for now.
All of these comfort shows, they're about things that are safe, happy subjects, but weirdly enough, since this pandemic started, movies like Contagion and Outbreak have seen huge increases in streaming numbers. And to me, that would be like, the big earthquake happening and then watching San Andreas or something like that. So what is up with that? Why are people watching this movie? Is it the anti-comfort programming? Are people watching to see, like, how did they deal with it in the movie? And maybe that's what'll happen in real life? I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts?
Contagion is kind of a secretly optimistic watch because it does kind of imagine a world where, like, Kate Winslet and Marion Cotillard, it's all these people who are very good at their jobs and are, like, reacting to the outbreak in a fast and studious way that we may hope everybody is doing right now. So I do think there's a weird optimism to that movie. Like, if there was a big, like, shoot up in people watching 28 Days Later, I think I'd be a little more concerned. But that's kind of my interpretation of it. That said, I have not watched Contagion during this time. Has anybody on the call watched Contagion? I'm kind of with Jared. That seems like a weird viewing experience for right now.
I've never seen it, so.
Oh. It's a great film to watch. A friend in our text group, he said he was watching it the other night, and I was like, what are you thinking? Like, not no, turn that off right away. Like, put on some Nailed It or something. You need some laughs right now.
Right, but I think Darren's right. There is that sort of there's that fantasy of that, like, oh, Kate Winslet's in charge. We'll be okay. Like, oh, there's smart, beautiful, hot actors who are going to figure this out and help us, with this whole thing. So I feel like there is maybe a little bit of a sort of a fantasy, acting. There's actors. They're going to come save us. They're the people you want.
If Kate Winslet shows up with some face masks for me, I will not turn them away. Yeah, that is for sure. Well, you guys, that is our show. Thank you so much, Darren, Devin, and Chance, for joining me today. And I hope you will join us next time, where more of EW staff will share their streaming picks. For Entertainment Weekly's Quaran-Stream, I'm Jared Hall. Stay safe, and please stay inside.